2019 elections, as I said in my opening lines of the show today, that we're actually counting up to that date. On the 14th of February is the National Assembly and presidential election. 16th of February, I beg your pardon, 16th of February is the National Assembly and presidential election. Well, 14th of February is Valentine's Day, and you know that we always put something together for that day. And then 2nd of March is the governorship and State House of Assembly election. So a few days really to that day. I mean, we're already done with 1 week in the year 2019 and the first month of the year. So we barely have 3 weeks or so to go in the month of January. But let's meet our panelists on the discussion today. From my extreme left, I'd like to thank very especially a veteran journalist, politician, Okaradia Ihimekwe. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
I also have with us a former governorship candidate in Edo State, public affairs commentator and author, Bishop Akhalame. Many thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Tanjana. Good morning, viewers.
We have with us an erudite scholar, lecturer, teacher, and public affairs commentator. I'd like to thank very especially Neville Obagado. He was with me on Politics Today on Saturday. Many thanks for joining us.
Good morning, viewers at home. Thank you, ITV, for
I have with us in the studio a leader of the CAN and PFN in a state. The senior pastor, Dayspring International Gospel Center, is also a national leader of the youth wing of PFN and CAN in Abuja. I'd like to thank very especially the erudite Pastor Phil Aroje for finding time to be here on the program this morning.
Good morning, thanks for having me. A happy new year, viewers.
Okay, let me appeal to viewers that we avoid all the rules of engagement. No names calling, no spurious allegations. We focus on the issues just to ensure that our viewers at home have full benefit of the discussion. And what is the discussion? Of course, it's on 2019 and allegations of planned rigging. One major turning issue is the fact that the appointment of Amina Zakari as the chief coalition officer in a committee set up by the INEC ZA is generating reaction. And you heard in the papers that the row is still raging. When will it end? I really don't know. And then there's also talks about the extension of the tenure of the Inspector General of Police. That's also raging. And then criticized the bargaining with 2023 presidential election slot for 2019. People have criticized that, and the criticisms are getting louder by the day. Hope we have all the time to x-ray all of this. But gentlemen, once again, thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Let me begin with Okaraja Ihimekwe. The issues are always what we expect at campaigns. So far, so good. How would you describe the impact of the issues in the campaigns going on? We know some parties have already gotten the Presidential Campaign Council on board. I'm aware that the ruling party will inaugurate their own formally today. I'd like to get your thoughts along those lines.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Duke. You see, what is that? I think Nigerians, we've evolved, we've developed to such a level that nobody talks much about issues again. The issues have been exhausted. What we are talking about, they are all thinking how to rig. Somebody is not even talking. Parties are preaching, they are saying they want to do this. I can remember in 2015, even the government you have now came with a mantra of anti-corruption, a mantra of change, a mantra. People saw him, people saw it, but this is not there again. I will tell you that the popularity of people like, well, you say we should, I don't want to mention them. If you see the popularity, the mileage that have been achieved by other parties, especially the PDP, it's not as a result of their preaching or of what they are saying they want to do, the issue they have been discussing. It is because of the failure of the present government. So that you now find out that everybody is already aware. Every average Nigerian, I'm going to put it to you, have made up their mind. So what you now see now is that instead of discussing the issue, they are discussing tribal, ethnic, zonal politics, and thinking of how to rig. They are trying to perfect in one way or the other. How do we rig these people out? How do we perpetuate ourselves with power? So what I am telling you now is that the issue facing Nigerians is either you remain in perpetual poverty and subsequent debt, Or you not take a change yourself and say, let me try this other person again. Because the present situation has failed us.
There's no basis for either you remain in perpetual poverty and subsequent death. There's no basis for that at all.
No, what I'm saying,
there's no way you can substantiate that.
It's not your word against my word.
Yeah.
I am telling you, I'm telling the feeling of the people.
But your feeling, your own assessment of that feeling is subjective. That's the point I want to make.
Oh, well,
yes, it's subjective.
Yeah, but what we are saying is that I'm saying that is why that has encroached into the issues you are talking about. Otherwise, what should we be talking about? A government in power should not tell me what you want to do. You tell me what you have done that will make you to remain in power.
Have those things been projected?
No, what we are saying is that we have to adjust the government through the matter you told us, security, economy, and corruption.
Okay,
this is about faith.
Let me pause you there.
What we are saying is that the issue before us now is that how do we solve this quagmire of trying to rig, always manipulating?
We'll get to that point because that's the core of our discussion. We'll get to that point.
Okay.
So I'll come back to you. Bishop, issues in 2019 election campaign, are they there? Or we're still along the lines of tribal, religious, ethnic, and all of that sentiments?
Thank you very, very much. Well, in as far as 2019 election are concerned, we have a lot of issues. A lot of issues. One of the issues we need to address is our political leaders. They don't have what to preach with anymore. Why? Because they failed the people. They cannot really promise anymore because the one they have promised, the principle of Congress did not emanate. They say one thing and they did another. So as a result, you don't see the campaign is so quiet. And two, the people are now very intelligent. They are now wiser. You cannot bamboozle them anymore. Now, there is another issue. Then the second issue is the Electoral Act that was amended, which Mr. President refused to accept. You all know that the issues we have in various courts after so many elections in this country, that the candidate was, because it was not captured in the Electoral Act, such cases were just handled in a way that even today, many of us are not happy. Okay, look at the appointment of one is Amina Zakari. These are pointer that the government is not really doing much to convince people that we are ready to do what is needful to have a peaceful election. Do you know why I'm surprised? I am a bit worried. Is that we have people who are no longer sincere to the electorate. We say one thing today, tomorrow we are saying another, as if we are non-entity. We are not intelligent. We don't know anything. When this issue of Amina Zakari came about, before Mahmoud came, the woman was there. A lot of people came out to say, no, this one must not stay there, it's related to Mr. President. The man was removed and replaced with Mahmoud. Now, the same woman again resurfaced. Do you know the point I have? The INEC boss was interviewed. He told us, that was 3 days ago, that this woman is from Jigawa State. Why did Mr. President from Katsina? So they are not related anywhere. Then the woman was asked again. He said, I'm not related to Mr. President at all. We are not related. And then Mr. President said, it's my step-niece. So you see the contradiction. Who are they following? And I say it again. This is democracy. If we are passing democracy, and which is regulated by a document called the Constitution, how come that today majority of our leaders do not adhere strictly to the provisions of the Constitution? We don't obey the Constitution. So if we are doing this, that means that our democracy is in trouble. Okay. Now, if the people are shouting, say, come, remove this woman, remove this woman. About 91 political parties said, remove this woman. IPAC said, remove this woman. Then the INEC man said, I cannot remove this woman. Who put you there? The Senate confirm you. Who voted for the Senate? The people. So if the Senate is confirming you, it's showing that he is giving our own consent to you in your confirmation. So whatever we are saying, you should listen and do the needful. If all these things are not put in order, my brother, there is trouble.
Okay, let me pursue there. Neville, yeah, we looked at this issue a bit on Saturday, but I'd like to get your thoughts along the lines of the fact that the presidency has denied any relationship with Amina Zakaria as in a blood relationship, but he just said that the president said is his step cousin or something, or step niece, whatever. And the woman on her part has also said she's not a blood relation to the president. I mean, both of them are from different states. But it's on record that this woman we're talking about was appointed by the PDP administration some few years back. What is really there about this woman's appointment as the chairperson of the Presidential Coalition Committee set up by the INEC chairman?
Thank you very much for your question. Before I react to the question, I want to quarantine the emotional outburst of my brother and my friend, Bishop Akalame. Because the issue of electoral governance, it was contested as a governorship candidate in this state. He is aware that the electoral process is governed by a legal framework. I'm talking about legal framework in this contest. We are talking about the Electoral Act as the operational document upon which any electoral action in Nigeria is predicated. Talking about that, Section 7 of the Electoral Act empowers the chairman of INEC to set up committees and ad hoc committees for the purpose of ensuring that there is a free, fair and credible election. Section 152 of the same Electoral Act also empowers the INEC chairman to delegate power to any of the commissioners in the interest of a transparent, free, fair and credible election. Now the question is this: why the hues and cries about Amina Bala Zakari? I had the opportunity of saying in a television forum that, either here or elsewhere, that this woman in question is more PDP than APC, because now as we speak, APC is at the helm of affairs in Nigeria, but at the time she came to political limelight, as distinct from her own professional limelight, it was PDP that catapulted her to this very level. She was appointed by the government of Olusegun Obasanjo in 2004 as a senior special assistant to the president on Federal Capital Territory Administration matters, and she was there till 2007. After the 2007, the government of Yaradua appointed her either as a member of NACA or as a member of NAFDAC. From there, she was appointed by the government of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, president as he then was, to become a national commissioner in 2011. And there was a national election in 2011, then 2015. Is it that she was appointed to manipulate the electoral process in 2011 and 2015, the two major elections that took place before Buhari emerged as president?
But there were no reactions as to her appointment.
Yes, I do not.
Were there any reactions?
There were no reactions.
Okay.
Now I'm saying, I'm thinking, I'm made to believe, and I'm now of the opinion that she must have been appointed to commit electoral crime in favor of PDP. If the answer is no, I do not believe. But if the answer is no, that she was not appointed to do that, why the hues are cries now that PDP is not in power, that she's going to manipulate the electoral process? Talking about the appointment that will be given to her, which is an interim appointment. After the elections are over, the committee will die a natural death.
And then at that time, maybe the deal would have been done.
Yes, I'm coming to the deed. I'm coming to the deed, the fear that people are expressing now. Now, because I've been involved in electoral activities for a very long time, I do know that each of the states in Nigeria, they have their own voters register. Each of the local governments in the state have their own electoral register. Each of the wards have their own electoral register. Each of the polling units have their own electoral register.
it is this register that is used to conduct election. And I also know that in every polling unit, each of the political parties have their agents. That when results are announced, the results are written before they are announced, and all the agents will sign. As they do that at the unit level, they do that at the ward level, they do that at the local government level, they do that at the senatorial level, they do that at the state level. Before these results are transmitted to the federal capital, Abuja, where this woman is going to be chairing a committee. Now, she is not only the member of that committee. There are university professors there who are also national commissioners who are in that committee. There are also directors of ICT and members of other organizations who are in that committee. Now, the appointment is like me becoming a course advisor. A relative of mine is a student in my department. I'm going to prepare the result. I will prepare the result. The result will pass through departmental approval. The result will pass through faculty approval and go to Senate. Now, will I now say because I'm related to this person who is our student, I will now manipulate the result?
You're saying there's nothing to fear about this?
There's nothing to fear because there are so many people who will look at the result. There are so many people in possession of the result that is going to collect.
Okay, let me pause you there. Reverend Phil, I'd like to get your thoughts. I heard the statement by Obi Ezekwesili, the former Minister of Education, now a presidential candidate. And she said INEC has bowed to pressure from the president in appointing Amina Zakari. I don't know what she meant by that. But what do you make of this whole hue and cry about this appointment of this woman?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, like he mentioned, Amina Zakari came into INEC in 2010, and the appointment was by the former president, Goodluck Jonathan. She was appointed as a national commissioner to represent the Northwest. And of course, at that time, there were no issues. She was in INEC until Professor Jega tenure expired and retired. Then, of course, the 2015 election has taken place. Then the president appointed her as the acting chairman. That was where people started raising issues. Because people who started raising issues then knew the relationship between her and the president. The unfortunate thing is all of these deniers. I've also done my own investigation, and from my findings, what I discover is that the president's elder sister married Amina Zakari's father. So that's why the president said, it's my step-niece. Initially, what people said was that she's the president's niece. That is, it is the president's sister
that gave birth
to her. But further check discovered that, it is the president's sister that married her father. In other words, it was actually the president's sister that raised her up. And a lot of other connections to the Minister of State Transportation, who is in charge of aviation, and all the rest, relationship like that. Where people must have a good sense of history. Nobody was criticizing Amina Zakari when she was in INEC under PDP. But where the problem started was when the president wanted to make her INEC chair, and of course, after the election in Kogi State. She was the one that presided over the election in Kogi State. When results were being collated, announcement was being made, when she got a call. And then as soon as she got that call, they suspended the announcement of that result. That is when people began to get afraid of her. She was also one of those who came to Edo State to preside over election here and said, Amina Zakari said, that she saw people buying and selling votes. That's part of the problem that people are seeing. And then her operations in INEC since the advent of this administration, she has become emboldened, unlike when she was under the former administration. So that's why people are worried. Now, when you come to deny the obvious that the president is not your relation, it means that there is something you have to hide. That's an issue. Then again, the appointment that is given to her, from the explanation of the INEC chair, by the constitution, he is the chief returning officer of a federal election like that, and he has said that he's not going to share that responsibility. That he has actually appointed Amina Zakari to chair the committee that's in charge of logistics for the venue, accreditation, ICT, and all the rest. And Nigerians have said, we don't want her. Can't another person chair that committee? and give the process credibility? Must she be the one to chair it? You can give on that committee, let her chair that committee. Why this one cry? Because if it's in a law court and the people, the litigants, so look, we suspect that this judge will be biased, the best thing for the judge to do is to step aside and disqualify herself from hearing that case. Why must she be there? And why would she go on air to begin to deny that the president is not her relation, whereas we know that they are related somehow?
Okay. So
even if the president from Katsina and she is from Jigawa State, I have nieces and cousins who are from Delta State. I have nieces, I have cousins who are from Ondo State, but I'm from Edo State here. Yeah. Because by marriage and all the rest, our relations spread. I have a niece who is from Sokoto State, because my sister married there.
Okay. All right, so, I'll come back to you. Yeah, you mentioned to say something on this one.
Yes. You see, there's a sequel. We have seen it. I'm so disappointed. Well, I'm not disappointed. I'm surprised at my brother's reaction that PDP appointed. When PDP appointed, it was recommended by Buhari. Somebody can be good yesterday and is bad today. Every person is saying this woman is evil. It's evil to democracy.
No, let's be civil in our language.
No, what I'm saying.
Hold on, just hold on. Be civil in your language.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what I am saying, Nigerians are saying we don't want this. Is the woman made for Nigeria or Nigeria is made for her? We have seen, okay, you see, look at her sequel, look at her history. She has a fair record. She has a fair record of electoral, will I call it manipulation? Will I call it whichever you want to call it? She has that fair record.
But that has not been proven, really.
No, look at when you are just told what she came to Edo and did the wonderful thing she did, made all this pronouncement. She was in Kogi, and I also just told this morning that she also had some fingers in Osun. Is she the for 200 million people? Somebody telling me that we have professor. Yes, we have. Put any other person there. Okay, why the denial? She told a lie. She has lied. The presidency, one person should say the truth, or the other person is telling a lie. The president said a different thing. She said a different thing. Another person said a different. Why the lie? If there are no dubious things inside it, it's dubious. These are diabolical sense of humor. So what we are saying, Nigerians are saying, we don't want her. There are two things to it. You either let Nigeria move forward, except you are not telling me that without this woman, Nigeria cannot survive, or we cannot hold any other election. We are saying we don't want her. Whether she was appointed by PDP, whether we even prefer let Buhari himself be the coalition officer. Let Buhari replace her with her. Yes, because I will tell you that Buhari in his own sense, that day may not even vote for himself. Let Buhari be there. We will be more satisfied.
There's no way you can substantiate that.
No,
because you are not in his mind.
Yeah, he will never vote for himself. He will never vote for himself. So let Buhari listen.
Just take that with a pinch of salt.
Nigeria will be more satisfied if Buhari decides to remove her and put himself there. So we now know, okay, we are facing the devil himself. So what we are saying is that don't deceive any person. What is the percentage? Any person can do that job she wants to do. Why is he bringing? What is bringing this special committee? Has he been there before? Why bringing her? Is she the only person? Like one of my friends just said that if I'm in a court and you find out that there was a serious matter before the governorship election, I was involved with one person who today is in authority, and we're almost getting judgment. The judge now said her hands are tied, and when she said that, I also now applied that I'm not going to trust this judge. I don't want you to continue with this case. She relinquished the matter and transferred it to another judge. We are saying, but we couldn't finish it before they were all sworn in. So what I'm saying is that if you are even in the court, even the judge will say, oh, well, my hands are tied, or I cannot do, she will relinquish herself, and another person will come and take over the case. Why insisting on her? And she's even telling Nigeria that she will not resign. She's even bold, having the temerity to say she will not resign, as if Nigeria was made for her. What is she before that? So what we are saying, sir, there are two choices. Either Nigerians owns Nigeria, or Aminu Zakari owns Nigeria. We will not determine it. You see, like I postulated from the onset, Nigerians are already, they made up their mind to vote for, where to vote.
All right, let's
because they made up their mind, these people there, they have no other thing to tell you on how to, except how to manipulate.
Let me pursue now.
From electoral act to Zakari. I think from here I will go to another stage again.
All right, let me pursue there. If you just join us, it's TMI Monday. Of course, reviewing some of the trending issues in the build-up to the 2019 election, particularly with the appointment of Amina Zakari as the Chief Coalition Officer for the Presidential Election Committee set up by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Now, Bishop Kalame, there have been issues or questions raised about the credibility, transparency, and fairness of the 2019 election. The president himself has said he's going to give Nigeria one of the freest, fairest, most transparent, if not the most transparent election ever seen. I mean, just one person, a woman for that matter, occupying a microscopic committee in the INEC, erasing a whole lot of dust about the credibility of the election. INEC chairman says he's not going back on the appointment. What really, don't you think this whole issue is too insignificant for us to consider as far as the election is concerned?
Significant? Duke, thank you so much. You know one thing about Bishop Kalame? I hit the knee and the head. I'm very straight. Because I'm a patriotic Nigerian, I say things the way they are because I want a better Nigeria. My brother said something, and I want to quickly say something about that. Just one thing he said. He said, votes are being collated from the unit ward and transmitted to where Zachary will be. As a politician, I will tell you that it was even surprised after the constitutional election that the result that we were sent to the states were not the same results that we announced. What will you say about that? Result may be transmitted from the unit to the ward from ward to the state from state to the federal, and the result you see is not what they are saying at the federal. We have seen that before in this country.
You may even have result before you start finish voting.
You can see, we've seen this before. When Mr. President made that comment that he was going to give Nigeria a credible election, I was amazed. You know why? Mr. President cannot say he was going to give us a credible election. No why? He's a candidate. Just like I'm conducting an election. We are 19 in the race.
But he's presiding over the affairs of the country.
It's not the one presiding. We have a commission. That's why anytime they call for stakeholder meeting, I normally tell them to the face that this is what is happening. That the public have lost confidence on you guys. I say to them, even in the state here, I told the resident, I said, come. The people have lost confidence in your commission. What are you going to do differently to restore that lost confidence? It is INEC. If INEC try to be independent, as that word there, you are independent. You do what you're supposed to do. Mr. President cannot say that I'm going to give Nigeria free. He's a candidate. He cannot tell us that. It's INEC that will say we are going to give Nigeria, in fact, free and credible election, irrespective of the president anywhere. We are going to make sure that the election is credible. My brother, I happen to have interacted with so many top politicians from the West. What happened in Ekiti and Osun states is the reason why people are saying that this election will be rigged. Fact everywhere. I was there when someone said, when you are coming like this, you need to tie a kerchief or wear a particular cap that will tell the people the political party you belong to. So once you are not wearing that, they have a way of making that you don't vote. That is infringement. That one is there. That some party will agree that let's go them early enough, let's queue up. After we have voted up to 100, let's clear the place so that other party will not vote. These things are happening. A lot of issues are going on. We are saying that Zakari should be there. When people are saying, even me, I'm not comfortable. As long as the people are, you can, that political party cannot be
wrong.
Cannot be wrong. IPAC cannot be wrong. You see, well, I'm not surprised now. We've discussed this issue 2015 when this woman became the INEC boss. That this woman is related to Mr. President. A lot of things happen and they remove her. Why are they bringing her again? And she's telling us that it's not living. That means there is political undertone. There must be a reason why she is there.
This may just be speculation.
Do you know I'm not happy? I'm not happy. I am praying to God every day. We need the best brain in Nigeria to take over the mantle of leadership in this country so that we begin to enjoy what we're supposed to enjoy as a nation. Okay. A situation whereby people come into power because of their personal reasons. Because what I'm saying now is because it's personal reasons that people want to remain in power in perpetuity. They don't want to leave. They don't want to go. Not because they want to solve a problem. If I am coming to contest an election as a president or governor or as a senator, I must have at the back of my mind that I am coming to solve this problem. I am not seeing that among Nigerian politicians.
Okay, let me pause you there. Let me pause you there. Navil, yeah, I like to get you in here. If there's this public outcry like we've seen and heard across the country, would it be fair to Amina Zakari to say, based on this, we deny her the rights of being a federal commissioner and then asked her to resign? Would it be fair to her?
You see, like we are sitting on these television studios, we are in a public court as distinct from the normal legal court. And the whole world is watching us. And the whole world that care, they also have the facts that we may have and be telling the people as we are seated here. Now, Amina Zakari, as I've said, she is not going to be on the board, on the committee alone, where results will be brought in for compilation and announcement. There will be others there. Can she now single-handedly manipulate results where we have international observers, where you have national observers, where you have people from African Union, European Union, United Nations?
Do they matter within the context of Nigeria?
Wait.
Do they matter?
If I'm the one that's having the floor,
No, you have the floor. Do they matter within the context of Nigerian elections?
If they matter.
Yes.
If they don't matter in this election that APC is going to organize for Nigeria through INEC, it means it is a historical trajectory of legitimacy crisis that will be affecting Nigeria. And unless something radical is done about it, it will continue in perpetuity. But still talking about Amina Zakari, pastor said that in Kogi State she got a call. This era of GSM, anybody can get a call. Does the call that she received now cancel the result that have been collated that they were going to announce? The answer is no. Bishop Akalame said in 2016 that results were manipulated. Those state governorship election results were manipulated.
No, she said she saw vote buying and selling.
No,
that's what she said.
You are the one who said
that's what she said.
Amina said she saw vote buying. Bishop said something about result, different result that were being collated. Was that not what you said?
Go ahead. You want the floor.
No, I want you to agree that I've quoted him right.
No, just go. He has the floor, please.
Yes.
Go on.
The election, as I said earlier, I said electoral governance is something that has to do with the legal framework, and the legal framework specifies the processes to be followed when you are convinced that the process has been infracted upon by a person or a group of persons or an institution. Now, in the case of 2016, where he said the election was manipulated, because the electoral act says that before the election, a tribunal for that election had to be inaugurated. Because I was following up the election, I went to High Court premises. I discovered that the tribunal had been inaugurated, and there was a chairman for the tribunal. I expected Bishop, who was part of that, who was the governorship candidate in that election that he described as manipulated as a result of differences in the results that were collected from the unit, to have gone to that tribunal to present his case so that the rights, the wrongs will be righted, and those who perpetrated those will now learn that subsequently their wrong actions will be righted by the tribunal. Okay. Now, I also expected, for example, in Kogi State, if it is true that she received a call and now changed the result that were before her, that she no longer announced that result. She now had to announce a result that was told down.
Nobody said
she got a call.
And the result was changed.
Yes.
No, I didn't have to debate. Make your point.
Make your point. Yes.
Okay.
So
just take it easy.
We are not defending anybody. We are. She got a call.
Neville, please go ahead. You have the floor.
She got a call. Did the call not change the result that were collected from all the units in Kogi State? The answer is no. Now, my take on it is that if INEC is convinced that the appointment of a national commissioner who is enjoying a tenureship appointment, if INEC is convinced that our appointment is going to affect the credibility of the election, they can excuse her from that committee and put another person.
Okay.
But if INEC is convinced that INEC is going to do the right thing, whether that woman is in that committee as chair or not, INEC should let her remain. Because the people, the parties, they know the law, they know the step to be taken when something like this is happening. They are supposed to have gone to court now, since the woman is saying, I'm not resigning from that committee, and INEC is not ready to remove her.
To challenge it
to court and apply to court for accelerated hearing, so that the court can make pronouncement before the election day, so that if the court says she should be removed, INEC will now have to bow to the.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that, particularly against the background that you brought in the courts making pronouncements, and then, of course, those pronouncements being adhered to just to pave the way to remove the controversy surrounding the appointment of Amina Zakari, as it were. But on a final note, what are your final thoughts on this now that we are here? Dr. Junaid Mohammed, I read a story on him saying that the president obviously cannot deny not having any links with this woman, but she's just one person in a committee that has been set up. So we could say her position is really insignificant, considering the fact that there are other members in that committee.
Thank you very much. Let me take a bearing from the earlier question raised about the president
credibility of the election.
No, the president making a pledge to give Nigeria free and fair election.
Okay.
There are many things that are happening around that is making Nigerians to doubt that pledge. I don't know what I'll talk about it. That will even have to do with the incumbent Inspector General of Police.
Yeah, we'll get into that point.
So look, that's part of the thing.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier, from what I heard from the INEC chair, he said that he is the chief returning officer by law, and is not going to relinquish that responsibility or share that responsibility with anybody. That the committee that Amina Zakari is chair is actually venue committee for logistics. They will usually take hold of the International Conference Center maybe like 2-3 weeks within the period of the election, before and after. And then that her responsibility will be to manage the facility, ICT, accreditation, and all the rest. As that she's not actually the chief collation officer. That's what he said. If she's not the chief collation officer, and Nigerians have said, we don't even want her there, please look for another job and give to her. Look for another job and give to her. So that the responsibility you have to discharge, we should see you as being free and fair in this whole process.
Okay.
Anything that will create doubt in the mind of Nigerians that this election has been rigged by you should not be there at all. I am of the opinion that another responsibility should be given to Amina Zakari, whether she's a relation of the president or not, whether she's from Edo State here, that she has even, Nigerians have said, we don't want her, and they have raised issues, take her to another place. Okay. You can't defend it. There's no way of keeping it there. And I find it difficult and find it amazing when Nigerians, some Nigerians, try to defend what cannot be defendable. Like Joshua said to the children of Israel, choose ye this day who you serve. We have made the choice, and I'm very happy that the governorship election in Edo State is not holding now. That's why I'm always happy, so that we can actually make a choice, and the choice will be free and fair. Our brothers and sisters who are going to the National Assembly, Edo people are educated enough. Nobody is coming to vote on the basis of political party on Edo State. We know the candidates, we know them. They are from different political parties. We know who to vote for. And when it comes to the presidential election, Nigerians also know and decide what they want.
Okay, let's take this discussion up a little bit. It's been on, like it's always the case. I remember pre-2015, the ruling party now in the opposition then were always talking about plans to rig them out of the election. But eventually the election held and they won. Now in post-2015, which is of course now 2019 elections, the ruling party then, now in opposition, is also crying of plans to rig the 2019 elections. Who do we believe? But that's on the side. It just looks like there's some, like they say, in every rumor, there's an element of truth. Against the background now that we have Amina Zakari being appointed as the Chief Coalition Officer, seems to lend some credence to these cries, these complaints of plans, alleged plans to rig. And then, in addition to that, is the purported tenure elongation of the IGP, whose tenure we understand has since expired. So we take up that discussion now by getting our panelists involved in the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, like I postulated when we started, that there is always this game plan to hoodwink the people and rig elections. For instance, the IG's tenure has come and gone. Is there any other person, the process is there for growth. Is there any other person that is qualified to be an IG? Why extending the tenure? It's a cap, you know, they sat down and planned it because this present IG, so to say, has been there, they all plotted every other thing they want to do to ensure how the election will be.
You can't substantiate that.
Wait.
But I need you to focus on the issue because when you say they came together, it will look as though you were there when the meeting was held.
Okay,
or after the meeting, somebody briefed you how that meeting took place.
What Nigerians are asking, like somebody said, if INEC feel they should do. INEC, Nigerians own INEC. This is an Inspector General of Police. Your tenure has come and gone. Before you, other people were there. Let him go and go and retire. And go and enjoy his retirement. Let the next person come in there. Nobody is saying, I'm going to choose the IG, the next IG. Why extending the tenure? Is there any special thing that he knows other people don't know? So what we are saying, these are all, they are gimmicks, they are diabolical. It's a way to try to hoodwink Nigeria to pretend as if you have a better thing for us. So what we are saying is that now that the IG's tenure has come and gone, especially with all this crisis, you know, it depends on who you are. If somebody says this person has been bad, and we all know it's antecedent, they have been bad, he has not been fair, and you are they are tired of him. Look at all his history in terms of infringing on rights of the citizens. So we are tired. People, Nigerians are saying, let the next IG appoint any other IG. Like I said just now, if Buhari who is had to appoint his wife now, who has not changed, who is now saying the husband is not the best, let the at least MD Yusuf was not originally a police officer. Let him put his wife to be the IG, the new IG. We will prefer it. But let this man go, asking for the sake of peace.
Okay, all right, Bishop. Yes, tenure elongation for the IGP. Do you have a problem with that?
Yes, I do have a problem with that. The problem is not for election manipulation. The problem I have with that is that those who giving power, authority, in this democratic system of government, don't respect our constitution. The issue of IGP now is constitutional. The constitution makes it clear that once you have attained the age of 60 years, or you have served for 35 years, you proceed on 1 month pre-retirement leave. You leave the stage. So, if the constitution has made it so clear, and Mr. President, who is the father of the nation, who understands the constitution, which is the document that regulates the activities of democracy, is not trying to adhere to the provision of the constitution. I am worried. Nigeria is supposed to be the giant of Africa. We're supposed to set a pace for other countries to follow. But what is happening today? That giant in this country is getting out of, is no longer there. Nigeria is no longer giant because of some things we are not having. Tell me, Duke, why was somebody who have attained the age of 60 years? Why was somebody who has served this country very well, I agree? Because it's not easy for somebody to put about 25 years of his life in the service. Good. For 35 years, February, January 3rd, 27th. So 7 he has spent under 4 days again now at the IGP of this country. I am just worried. Are we now under military regime where things just happen the way they want it? It's democracy.
Okay, all right. So let me get Neville in here. Does the president have the right to so appoint or extend the tenure of the IGP? Because I read the Police Service Commission saying they're yet to get a word from the presidency on the extension of the tenure of the IGP.
I thank you that the discussion this morning is centered on law. The issue of Amina Zakari and the Electoral Act. They are matters that can be questioned before competent courts of jurisdiction. As it is with the issue of
the tenure,
the issue of the Electoral Act, so it is with the issue of tenure extension for IGP, mutatis mutandis. Now, the question is, does the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has the power to extend the tenure of the Inspector General of Police? The answer is yes. And you find that answer in section 215, subsection 1 and 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If anybody, therefore, Nigerian, myself, or any other person, is dissatisfied with the action of the President, you seek redress in the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court that interprets the Constitution. If we fail to do so, and we sit down in the court of public opinion, we sit down in beer parlors, we sit down in newspaper stand and be discussing this matter, our discussion will hold no water. Now, historically, is there any president, even from 1999 to date, who has extended the tenure of the IGP in exercise of the constitutional power? The answer is yes. The government of Olusegun Obasanjo extended the tenure of Sunday Ehidero as Inspector General of Police. The government of Yaradua stroke the government of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, they extended the tenure of Mark Obama Okiro as Inspector General of Police. So if Buhari is exercising his constitutional powers and any person is dissatisfied with it, to the extent that that dissatisfaction can be subjected to interpretation by the court, let us do so. Maybe that interpretation will now lead to amendment of the Constitution that will strip the President of power to extend the tenure of the Inspector General of Police. That's my take.
Reverend Phil.
Thank you very much. First, when I talk on TV, I talk with facts anywhere, so that those who accuse me outside of thinking I'm biased towards one person or one political party, I've also asked them, the day you hear me tell lies, then you can confront me with the lies. But if what I'm saying is the truth, and because you feel you don't want the truth, then I don't have a problem with that. The Inspector General of Police have actually put in 34 years in service as of last December. 34 years. He joined the police force when he graduated from Ahmadu Bello University, where he studied agriculture as a cadet ASP 34 years ago. What is making Nigerians say he should retire or that he should pull out from the service is age. By the record that was there, he actually became 60 on the 3rd of January. But he said the record was not properly put in place, so that is not 3rd of January, it's 15th of January. So by the 15th of January, which is next week Tuesday, he will be 60 years old. Whereas he still have up to the end of this year if we're to follow the length of service. But by the law, whichever comes first, either 60 or 35 years in service. So by the age, he should retire. Let's leave the 3rd of January and give him 15th of January, which he has said that he will be 60 by 15th of January. He should go. The last IG was from Edo State. He retired when he became 60. If he didn't retire, if his tenure was extended, he would not have been IG. For him to become an IG, 21 senior police officers who were ahead of him were retired. For this man to become an IG. There are those who are even lower than him. About 22 of them pulled out of service last December, including the former commissioner of police in Lagos State, who was in Benue, Fatai Owoshun, and all the rest. They pulled out because those ones at that time entered a year before him as cadet ASP, cadet inspectors, but he entered as cadet ASP. So there is no reason why his tenure should be extended by 1 day. Because when you extend the tenure of service chief and IG, you make the force redundant. You may not be aware that if the tenure of the service chiefs was not extended by 1 year, the person that would have been the chief of air staff is from Edo State. You don't know that. I won't mention his name. He's qualified, eminently qualified. He would have been the chief of air staff as we talk today. But his retirement age is approaching by the extension of the tenure of the service chief. So he may retire, and these people who have been service chief will still remain there. And then you demoralize the system. We thank God for IG Idris from Niger State. He has done well.
Okay.
He has served his father's land.
Okay.
Please, on the 15th of January, you should pull out of the service.
Yes.
Because when you don't pull him out, okay, what reason has he done excellently well? Is that the reason why you want to extend his tenure? The only reason, the fear of Nigeria is that you want to extend his tenure so that he can help
But
you.
does the president
manipulate.
have the right to extend this tenure?
He has the right to extend the tenure,
Okay.
but the constitution does not allow him to appoint someone who is not in the service to, as at now, 1990 constitution does not allow him to appoint someone who is not in the service to be the IG. And by the 15th of January 2016, by the constitution, that man's tenure has expired. He's no longer supposed to be in the force. If he has done excellently well, though he went to law school, he read law, but he didn't go to law school, so he can't even practice law. He should go back home to go to
all right.
and rest. Let other persons take over.
All right,
and do the election.
Thank you, Reverend Phil. Before we just go off track, instead this morning on ITV, beautiful Monday morning, extracting a couple of issues as relates to the forthcoming 2019 general election. That's in just a couple of weeks. The expectations are high. That we have a credible election, a peaceful election, a free election, and a very fair election. In all that we have discussed today, the concerns about the credibility of this election, are they germane, Okaradia?
That the concern about the credibility of this election?
Yes, are they germane?
They are germane. What we are saying, we want Nigeria wants a credible election. And that is why you find out that any attempt, any way, any suspicion, people protest about it. For instance, somebody is telling me that you get up, results are calculated from the. What is happening? Why are we in court in Osun State now? Why are we in court in Ekiti State? It's because that's calculation. They say you didn't calculate, it's not calculated well. Are you follow me? It's calculation. Somebody that just standing there, they have a reason. I'm telling you, what I've just listened to me, they have their reason. A cabal they've met. They say they are working towards an answer. Let Amina Zakari lead the way. Let the IG go and sit down and let Nigeria move forward. Whereas what are we calculating? If Amina Zakari, I'm not aware she's a statistician. I'm not aware she's a mathematician. Okay, she's a pharmacist. Yeah. What are they? I'm better. As a journalist, I think I'll do better than her.
They should appoint you.
No, listen. Yeah, they don't feel I will do better than her. So, but what I'm saying, let this woman go home and look at the way she with temerity. I'm not resigning. They don't say I will remove her. They don't say I won't do this. Why? So we are pleading. Let Nigeria move forward.
Okay.
If you are talking about legality, we are all in court now. Where are we in court for? It's because the result given to me in the polling unit is when what was announced at the top. You follow me? They manipulate, they put one figure and the other. You want me to go to court? We are tired of court. We don't want court. Let this woman go and let her have a peaceful election.
All right,
because
Bishop.
they already failed. They know they failed.
Bishop, it's okay. Okay, that's subjective thoughts. Bishop, yeah, credibility, fairness of the election.
Look, I have to thank
Concerns,
you,
right?
I have to thank you so much that we are discussing this today. And I want to say this, that when we discuss like this, it's not because we are taking sides with one political party. It is because we are patriotic. We just want to have a working Nigeria. That is why we are talking like this. All this we have just put together today is to ensure that we have credible election. If INEC is listening to us now, I think they should do the needful so that 2019 general election will be the best elections we have ever conducted in this country. It just said something. It just said something that's really very interesting. You know, they will just let just do it, let them go to court. You know, let's just do it, let us go to court. Before they go to court and they come out of court, we must have spent about 2 or 3 years. So there's no need. So we don't want to be seeing all this. Once the people go to the field to cast their vote, let their vote count for Christ. Now, a situation whereby you are in office, you are in power, instead of you to do what you're supposed to have done to ensure that the people are happy, you go there, you begin to siphon the public fund, you put it in your pocket, and you forget to deliver the dividend of democracy. With the hope that when the election is fast coming, what you do is that you bring out money, you begin to share 1,000 naira, share wheelbarrow, share grinding machine, so you can get their vote. These are not good enough. It's not good for our democracy. Once they vote for you, just go there, do what you're supposed to do, so that when you are coming, you have lesser talk. You don't need to talk too much. Once you are a leader, you are occupying office, and you have done very well, when you are coming back again, before you even come, they will be begging you, please go back. We need consolidation. It is when you have not done well, then we begin to think or begin to plan how to buy the vote, begin to plan how to rig, begin to plan a lot of things. So is this a lesson? There's a wisdom for every one of us here who are interested in politics, that once you are going there, go there with premeditated plan that when you get there, you are going to do a lot of things. So when you do it and you come back, the people will say, please go back and consolidate what you have started.
Okay. All right, Nabil, just in line with that, we've also seen a bargain with 2023 presidential slot for 2019 election. This is just interesting. What are your thoughts along those lines?
I don't know what you mean by bargaining 2023 presidential slot with 2019. The issues that we have discussed here today are issues that center around the Nigerian legal system, which can be challenged. Like Okarik Dehimepe said that we are tired of courts. Because the makers of law, they every say that there will be an affront on the law. People would like to disobey the law. And so to right the wrongs, they make provision for adjudication in courts. Be that as it may, 2019 election, Nigerians are yearning for a free and fair election that will be legitimate, because a legitimate election with people that have been elected by the people as a result of their votes that were counted will further lead to capacity of the government and the state to deliver on the dividends of governance, which will make life better for the people and which will ensure that there's a security of lives and property. And so Nigerians are calling on all the political parties, they are calling on INEC, they are calling on security agencies, they are calling on community leaders, they are calling on every Nigerian that is concerned about peaceful coexistence to commit themselves to peaceful election in 2019. And on the issue of 2023, we cannot cross the bridge until we have gotten to the bridge. So let's discuss 2019. The outcome will not determine maybe where the presidency will be going.
It's already in the public domain. It's already in the public domain, the bill.
There is deceit ongoing with 2023, especially with the ruling party. Whereas some people from the West, some people from the East, are actually telling their people that they have an unwritten commitment that, look, if we make the president, if we re-elect President Muhammadu Buhari for a second term, naturally, 2023, when he has finished his second term, he should come to the Southeast. And that's what the DG of NAN, whether it's NAN or
Voice of Nigeria.
That's what he's campaigning with. That's what he's selling to the people, selling to Ndibu in the Southeast. Until the vice president went to the West last week and said, listen, that what will guarantee that the Southwest will have the presidency in 2023 is for them to realize.
So there's already...
And both of them are from the same political
party. There's already a contest.
Of course.
A contestation for 2023.
So let me quickly land here.
Yes.
Both the PDP and the APC actually have nothing to offer Nigerians. It's individuals. And that's why I said we should look at them. Individuals that have something to offer. Because you are in the same political party, you are promising two different senatorial districts or the political zone, different things, or same thing, that 2023. So they are deceiving themselves. And like Doctor mentioned earlier, there is nothing that should justify the action or inaction of the present administration because of what has happened before. Because the reason why they asked for change in 2015 and Nigerians opted for change is so that things will no longer be done the way it was done before.
Yes.
If for the convenience of the political party or the ruling party head, Obasanjo and Yar'Adua extended the tenure of an IG, whatever you are doing now shouldn't justify, because they voted for change, so that we won't be living with that kind of a life. Yes, we don't want to live in the past. So that's what it is. 2023 is this it. Let Nigerians vote who they want to vote for now. And then when it gets to 2023, we'll move on. Because this it must be not, it must be easy. It's what has taken us to where we are, and we're actually going nowhere. That's the reality. Right. Like what somebody said in the leak audio tape, that we are not going anywhere.
Yes, I thought I was going to mention that.
We're not going anywhere.
Because
that's the reality.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere.
Yes.
It's this it.
That leak audio tape is something you can take.
You should have explained it further. But listen, it is not PDP or APC. You mentioned a particular party that where the president is promising the East governorship presidency.
That was not what he said. He didn't say president.
Listen, I'm not talking to you. I hold the floor now. So
I'm even the one who the floor before he
just be calm.
No, okay, thank you. I don't want to correct one show, because if he says PDP, APC, they are bad or they are not good, it is the candidate we are going to vote for.
Yes,
wait, I'm coming. You give us an example that the vice president promising the West,
yes,
give us this, and the president promising one person, one position for two people at the same time. You didn't mention anywhere PDP has said also do their.
We know the history of PDP. Even the umbrella cannot cover us anymore. Neither can the blue sweep anything. But Nigerians, we know what to do.
So what we are saying, let Nigerians vote for whom they want.
Yeah.
But the issue of manipulation, try to manipulate or win the people in order to take a
let me proceed. I come back to Neville, who had the floor originally. Initially, you were a bit reticent in ventilating your views on the bargaining with 2023 slot. But I'm sure now you probably want to say something about it.
You see that during election, people who are already in power, they want to give promises to the electorate that will appeal to their psychology and their psyche, so that on the end they can cast their vote for their party. While those who are about to capture political power, they can embark on megalomaniac allegations of this and that, as the case may be. Now, the two persons that Pastor made mention of, the vice president, he's a leader in his own right in Southwest. So if he is telling the Southwesterners that if you vote for Buhari now, presidency will come to Southwest, it's an attempt to appeal to the people to cast their vote for APC. That statement that presidency will come to 2023 may never come to pass. Now, if the Director General of
a pastor should deceive his people.
I'm surprised. Politics, everything.
We are not talking about just he has the floor. He has the floor.
The Director General of a Voice of Nigeria is also a leader in his own right from the Southeast. Number one, he wants to protect his position. Number two, he wants to daydream that by 2023, presidency may likely come to that, and the only way it can come through APC.
The only way he can hoodwink his people to believe in that is by telling them that they'll get 2023. But does it make sense? Does it make sense in the same party, two leaders are saying the same thing or promising their constituents, promising one thing to their constituents, knowing fully well that these people have interest, these people have had the opportunity to be there several times. These people, they've never had the opportunity to be there at all. Does it make sense that this promise is being made to these two?
Politically, it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yes. Spiritually and morally, it does not make sense.
Okay.
But what is politically expedient may not be spiritually or morally right.
Okay.
So that is it.
So in other words, politicians speak with
double man.
Double man. They speak from the two sides.
Thou sayest. Thou sayest. That is not my word. That's not my word.
Senior colleague to the vice president. He's just a pastor under the senior pastor. He shouldn't say what he knows will not be reality.
No, it's a campaign. The language of politics is different from the language of the church.
No,
wait. Let me give an example.
Yes.
Let me give an example. Jesus Christ as our mentor, as our savior, as the person that we worship, we serve in Christianity. he was a radical. You agree with me that he was a radical?
Of course, he carried Koboko to the temple. I don't have any problem with
Now, Christianity today do not preach radicalism. If you look at the letters of Paul the Apostle to the Galatians, to the Ephesians, those letters, if you sit down and look at them and look at the futuristic place you are going, which is heaven, it will dampen your revolutionary zeal to challenge government that may not be doing the right thing. So how do you see that?
What exactly was the point?
Yes, well, the point is this. The point is this. That as a Christian, if you want to follow Christianity the way it should be followed, that will be involved so much in politics, we raise questions about your spirituality and about the faith that you profess.
Okay. You see, that's why I have problem with even the present government right now at the national level. When I speak as a pastor or I encourage my brethren to do this politically, they say I'm not supposed to do that. That pastors are supposed to be on the fence. You are not supposed to take side because in your church you have either this party or that party. I have problem with that. Why I shouldn't take side? When we have the vice president of the country as a pastor ordained, and you don't see anything wrong with that. You had in 2011 Tunde Bakare, who is the general overseer of National Assembly, running as vice president. You didn't see any problem with that. The vice president can be there, preach a political party, is in government. You don't see any problem with that. And if I tell my people to vote for a local government chairman, you tell me as a pastor I'm not supposed to be there. That's the double face I have problem with in this government.
Okay,
Yes,
Bishop, you've been listening. I just thought you could say things before we call it a wrap.
You know why I'm listening?
No.
That the last book I wrote about the problems of this country, one of the problems we have as a nation is insincerity. Insincerity. You are saying one thing, you know what you are saying. You are not saying the right thing.
Yes.
You keep confusing the people. That's why we are still where we are today. We don't move forward. Insincerity. Why would somebody will go to the West and say, please vote for us? You see, the first time I heard that language was from Fashola, who said that the presidency is actually going to the West by 2023. So if the West knows what they want to do, they should return Buhari back to power so that by 2023, when he's leaving, he's hand over to the West. Then this Senator Ogege went back to the East and told us, please, you see, giving you vice president is not the issue. The issue is you voting for this man. Let him go back. After 4 years, presidency will eventually return back to the East 2023. You see, the issue is that we now see people who are not straightforward, who are trickish. But you know what I'm happy? The people now know the truth.
Yes. That is
The
it.
people are now wiser.
Yes.
That if you are saying one thing, the remaining one you have not said, we know.
Yes.
So that's what happened. Now that's why you see that they find it difficult to campaign. Because before you say something, people are not telling you, we see something, people will listen to you. When you are saying something, most of these people you want to talk to us, you hold a book, you are reading to us. Person like me, when you are reading, you want to promise me you are reading book to me. I will leave because I know that that thing you are saying is not coming from your mind. As a politician, you should have a program that is stamped in your mind, your heart. That when you are talking for the mind. Why will you promise 2023? Why will I not go voted 2019? Even the one who voted 2015, we not got the dividend. We are still where we are today. We have a problem. We are not going anywhere.
Let the Minister of Transportation within the next 12 hours before the end of today issue a categorical statement denying that suspected denying it. If he does not deny it, then we know that politicians are truly not who they say they are.
I like the way you landed
Yes.
it here because I knew where you were going.
Yes.
And then there's a
Just
leaked audio recording that is flying around. I listened to it. That's what you're talking about.
Yes,
Minister of
that's what I'm
Transport.
talking about.
Yes, that is flying around
Yes.
and is gaining momentum because he's a very critical person.
He's a DG.
Yes,
he was DG 2015. He's a DG now.
Yes.
So he should be able to deny it and prove beyond any doubt.
Let me get some analytical perspectives
Yes.
from Dr.
You see
Nabil.
that I said earlier that in a period of political transition like the one that we are in now,
Yes.
power is about to change hand. If it's going to change our power will remain. But no, I'm not saying power is changing. It's a political transition. He said that it's the same civilian government will still come back or another one will come back. That is what I mean. Now, in that period, those who are in power, they want to use every means possible to remain in power. Those who want to come want to also use every means possible to come. And in that process, you see wide range allegations, unverifiable allegations. Now, we are talking about a video that is making the rounds. The video, yes, audio recording that is making the round.
Yeah.
We need to subject that audio
to analytical,
forensic analysis.
Oh, yes.
Then,
just the same way we need to subject the Ganduje video to forensic analysis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if at the end of the day we have gathered information from, we have gathered recorded messages of Amechi.
Yeah.
Then we also put this video by the side.
This audio.
And yes, I beg your pardon, the audio.
Yeah.
And then the originator of the audio will also be present. Then the person will also speak.
Yeah.
And let's see whether somebody was not trying to mimic the language of the voice of Amechi.
Okay.
It is after the report has promptly said that it's Amechi that made the statement that any right-thinking person can
agree that. That's why I said first issue a statement.
You should deny it. Silence gives consent.
If his attention gives consent. If his attention will be drawn to it, I expect that it's going to make it.
Okay, so we look forward to that. We look forward to that happening. We look forward to that happening anytime soon. But, you know, like they say, Nigeria, interestingly, is just a country of absurdities. I mean, just like every other person, the video on the governor of Kano State who was alleged to be involved in some bribery activities, I mean, carrying bundles of dollars, lining his pocket and all of that, is still there in the public domain. The author of the video says he has more to give and he wouldn't disclose the source of that video because that's one of the cardinal principles of our profession, the journalism profession. And so the onus is on those who are saddled with the responsibility of fighting corruption to actually go into that and deal with it. But fortunately and unfortunately, there seems to be some tacit support from the powers that be. But I was saying this morning, it means that you need to be very careful with what you say, where you say it, when you say it, and how you say it. Otherwise, you could just be in the shoes of the Minister of Transport, Rotimi Amechi. But we are not saying that his voice is what we have on that audio recordings, because there's no way we can independently authenticate that voice. But the 2019 election is here. You have a responsibility to do the needful, that is to cast your vote. Ensure you get your PVC ready so you can vote for the candidate of your choice. Now, some are saying, and some of our panelists here also alluded to that, that right now people are no longer focusing on political parties. They are focusing on individuals. Either you're coming into power, what have you done? If you're already there, what have you done? All right? Or if you're coming into power, what can you do? If you're already there, what have you done for us to talk about, for us to assess you with? So all of these issues are in the public domain, but most importantly, do not sell your votes, exercise your franchise to take Nigeria to where it ought to be. If you don't vote, whatever comes, you're as guilty as charged as any other one or any other person who may have done one thing or the other that is untoward. That's where we'll end this discussion today. I want to say big thanks to all our panelists. Dr. Ade Imekwe, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
And Bishop Akalame, thank you for coming. Neville Obagedu, thank you for coming. Reverend Phila Roji, many thanks for coming.
Thanks a lot.